23, 22.
Hey guys, not really ready to record a video,
21,
but the countdown's about to end.
20,
I'll either tack this on to the beginning
90,
or end of another video.
80,
But let's see together what happens
70,
if you let this thing count all the way down
16,
from 1,000. It does take
15,
a while, the rate at which he counts.
14, 13, 12,
And because of the nature of the countdown,
11,
you can leave and try to solve puzzles.
10,
Come back
9,
periodically.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 3 and 3 quarters, 3 and a half, 3 and 3 eighths, 3 and a quarter, 3 and 3 sixteenths, 3 and 1. Look, I'm a bomb, for heaven's sake. I'm bending over backwards to be fair and reasonable, but at the end of the day, I'm a bomb. And what bombs do, not to put too fine a point of it, is they blow up. Look, do you think I want to blow up? Do you think I enjoy the prospect of smearing myself all over half a parsec of space? Well, I don't, frankly. But we were all called upon to do things that we don't like from time to time, and you are making it very difficult for me. Recommencing countdown. Now, 1,000.
So there you go. Playing this game
998.
all those years ago,
900.
I would go check on the bomb periodically, go do some clues, come back. And the thing is, even if you run out of time, like, you wouldn't necessarily know. Like, if you got really distracted,
94.
it would just still be in this countdown. And at one point I was playing it thinking, okay, the countdown is probably gimmicked. Like, it's always in mid-countdown when you come back into the room.
990.
And now I really don't know, like,
89.
if we were to leave,
988. 987.
like, actually leave in such a way.
86.
Well, great, now I gotta navigate the frickin' room.
985. 984. 983. 982. 981.
This is the wrong... Okay, so now I'm trust. Now I don't want to do a video right now. I got T-steeping. I didn't get all the steps in that I wanted to get.
978.
I'm just trying to confirm to you guys that if you leave...
77.
It's...
976.
This,
975.
Oh, maybe this is the way to get out. Yeah, up these... Up this thing. So here we are. No longer actually within range where we can hear the countdown. And he was on 900 something, right? What if we go back down? Where will he be? Is the game actually realistically tracking the countdown? I wasn't quite sure as a kid until I think I did eventually just decide to wait and see and saw that it always started over. So, I mean, it's a comedy puzzle game.
971.
But yeah, it sounds to me like he's at about the right point in the count, so there you go.
969. 968. 967.
So I will I'll probably make this the start of a video. I might just tack it on to the end of the end of the video where well, then again, I spent like 30 seconds speculating about what I was going to do there too. So at any rate, you will see this footage, and there will be other footage too. I may or may not be doing an outro here. I'm not even sure. We will eventually complete cinematic... I knew I'd do that eventually. Starship Titanic, you and me, together, gentle viewer. Let's do it. Alright, guys, so we sorted out that bomb business, and I've loaded so that we don't have to worry about it no more. So let's look around this place. There's a few things, and again, what would I have figured out if I didn't end up looking at the walkthrough and getting some of this spoiled? I don't know. I don't rightly know. But there's a few things that it might be useful to do before we really get too much more involved with this place. And, let's just take care of those things now. If we can. I thought we went up this thing. Figured out how to get out before. Oh well. This is the wrong room. We'll need to come and check this place out eventually, but not right now. so I don't freaking know. Is this it? This is it. This thing. Okay. We got a couple of places to go to where we might as well, like, it's already been spoiled for me what to do, so we might as well get those inventory items in our possession before we start messing around with that zone. Because I think that's, I mean, ultimately, we're going to have to collect all these Titania parts. We've picked up a few randomly as we've gone. But ultimately, that's, you know, winning the game involves going to that room and fixing Titania, I guess. Didn't actually mean to do this. And what's annoying here is I haven't figured out how to get out of this room without getting in the gondola if you accidentally click one too far. So one thing we can do is try to grab the parrot and leave the room with it.
Sorry about your home. If you need somewhere to stay, I've got a lovely cage going cheap. Oh, it would be going cheap if it was a chicken. Ah, parrot humor, don't you just love it? Oi, unhand me, you person! Stop it! I shall screech! I shall screech! Ah, you can't keep a good parrot down!
So now we have a parrot feather, which
Especially, you can't keep a bad parrot down!
So now we have...
What you got? If I can't suck it or blow it, don't show it.
Actually, I don't think this is right. There's like a main one of those. And now I'm confused again. Where am I supposed to go? No. There seemed to be something on the floor here a second ago. Okay.
Bilge room. Going down.
Bilge room we tried to visit in the intro, and we were told we couldn't go there while the ship was not in space. So let's see what happens if we go here now. Well, I hit the middle button now, whatever.
Bilge room.
Bilge is a nautical term. I don't really know what it means. Oh, actually, this is... Okay, this is the place I needed to go with this item. It's a nautical term. I don't know what it means, but it sounds gross. And I'm sure, you know, you can look up to see what it means. I'm just... Yeah, I thought I remembered one of them saying this, but this is the main... And I have no idea why you would know to do this, but you give this thing a feather. And then, I guess, try to send it.
Feathers make me sneeze.
Yeah, you try to make it send a feather, and that causes it to sneeze. Which gives you an item you need. So I don't know that I would have ever figured that out. But this guy, whether it's a person or a mannequin, this guy apparently was stuck in the succubus transport system. So we have his olfactory center. We have Titania's olfactory center. And a blue fuse.
It's very nice to make your acquaintance. Don't bother me.
So how do we... Can we figure out who this person is? Doesn't look like we can, but whoever they were, they had Titania's olfactory center and a blue fuse. So again, this is the kind of thing where, like, I'm not embarrassed that I needed a fac.
Bottom of keel. Going down.
Actually, this might actually be capable of killing us if it
Bottom of keel.
drops us
Bottom
out,
of keel.
drops us in space.
External access unavailable while in flight.
Right. Okay.
Embarkation lobby. Going up.
So for one thing, I wouldn't necessarily have thought. I guess eventually, in the full range of exploration, you would have tried to find it, but I wouldn't necessarily have thought to come back to this elevator, which was in the, like, you really have that much control section of the game. Although you do have to press that button to advance the story.
Embarkation lobby.
So what does this other door do? This one. That's the other thing. Like, the menu really makes it seem like you can't get to that elevator. Trying to come here? Like, what does that door do? Apparently nothing. Why wouldn't it do something? I don't know. But anyway, we've got additional fuses now. Oh, I didn't mean to come in here. I don't think there's anything to do with the TVs anymore.
Cheery bar then, Buster. Missing
Yep.
you already? I don't think. Ha ha! Squawk!
I was kind of surprised that the parrot hadn't said anything up until that point. So there are some places where it's just, you don't realize the room is there to be visited just because the maneuvering around controls in this game are a little weird. But we've got some fuses, and apparently there is a room down here where we're going to need to use them. And I say that, and like, I'm not even pretending that I am not relying on a fact. I'm not reading it, you know, reading it word for word, like right before I record. But I definitely had to look at one to get an idea of what's supposed to be going on.
You don't want to go near that thing. You don't want to go near that thing.
So the parrot just shows up in this room, I guess.
Thing. That's just an automated tub of mucus. That's just a cybernetic bowl of phlegm. And don't give it any chicken. Any chicken you find is my chicken. I want that understood.
And that's a clue. We're meant to get chicken for the parrot eventually as well. They do a good... I'll give them credit for this. They do a good job of making things that are actual gameplay clues sound enough like jokes that you might think they're purely meant to be jokes. Log in. I think we eventually have to do something with this. Though actually, I think there's something optional we would do with that, where it's just... Danger, unbelievably high voltage, no user serviceable parts inside. You really shouldn't have opened the first inspection plate. This is not only fantastically dangerous, but you are voiding your warranty. Don't say you weren't warned. Okay. So that's... Oh, it's... Sorry, that's not right. There's a blue fuse. So there's a red fuse and a green fuse that we're apparently missing. This is the turkey dispenser. Try shutting that guy off too and see what that does. Well, I wonder if I put the wrong fuse in place, is that gonna... Nope, it doesn't like that. I don't know what that red one is. The chicken one, we're supposed to turn it off at some point here, because we're supposed to actually get chicken. And you remember we shot chicken out of that machine, and it like zoomed by too fast. I can't pretend to understand exactly what was going on with some of that. This is the bomb room again. Oh, this is the actual room that Titania is in, or is it just... That's Titania. Oh, I need to find a way to get that hand to open up. So I don't know the correct order to put these in, and maybe I can find it later, but at least I've got the eyeballs out of the inventory. This is an ear. Okay, so various bits of titania we've now replaced. Is this going to improve our situation? I don't know. I mean, eventually our situation will be improved and the game will be won by completely fixing titania. What I mean is I don't know that these partial fixes do anything. I keep missing this thing that we're supposed to click. But again, I'm not giving up hope that I can figure some of this out on my own-ish, because there's entire rooms we haven't even been to yet. And obviously some of the things that we need will be in those rooms. We're supposed to do something eventually with that room that... Not the statuary art gallery, but the other art gallery looking place. Nastagon. We're supposed to get probably that. Oh, I wonder. There's a little red control switch. Maybe we need to do something with the fuse in there. Wasn't there a red fuse in place and it just was shut off or something? I probably need to assume that whatever was in the on position needs to be turned off. And whatever's in the off position needs to be turned on, this being an adventure game. It's not always going to be that simple, of course, but... I think this is actually wrong. I want to come over to this room on the other side. Try turning the red switch. See, I don't know if it's on and what's off. Let's see if that does anything. Remember there being a puzzle in one of the Infocom games where I figured it out, but I was really, really irritated when it first popped up because I thought I was kind of done with the game, having gotten into like the control room of a spaceship, but then you also have to set the navigation coordinates, and it wasn't in English because it was some kind of alien ship, but there were visual clues that made it quite doable. But there are lots of ways for you to set things that were already in the right setting to the wrong setting and mess yourself up. So I'll try this out real quick. Did that do anything, this red switch? Oh, it did. That. Other. This. Uh-oh. I think I was supposed to have noted which head was which. Because I believe this is the solution to the puzzle where you figure out how to use that computer. Yeah, so I think what I was supposed to have done there is noted those names of those spinny heads and then seen what the password... the password is what the word that was written on the other side of them. You log in using... You would log in using the name, and then you would, let's see if maybe CJC wrote down the correct answers. But I think you log in using those names, using the name of the floating head, and then the password is the word that's visible behind it. Parrots, pistachios. Okay, yeah, so luckily for me, I don't know that I've ever figured this out as a kid because I guess it's optional, but luckily for me, CJC actually writes down the correct answers for you, not just how to get them. So, we went through the steps necessary to solve the puzzle, even if this is one of those you're supposed to have a pen and paper handy as you go through the game type of puzzles. I keep going straight into this bomb room every time, even though I know it's not the right room. And this is not a room that we get to enter at all, apparently. At least if we can enter it, we're not able to enter it yet. So login, it would be Leovinus. Password this. Access denied. So we'll try Leovinus. And then we'll try that. Access denied. Leovinus. Other. And I'm typing in all caps. Other. Welcome, Leovinus. This is your missive-o-mat. You have received 1,827 electronic missives. For your convenience, I have deleted 453 things that people you don't know thought it would be terribly witty to forward to you. 63 missives containing double or triple exclamation marks. Interrobang, a talking cat. 846 missives from mailing lists you once thought might be quite interesting and now can't figure out how to cancel. 962 chain missives. And bear in mind, folks, this game came out in like the 90s. So some of this stuff is fairly new things to make fun of. 1,034 instructions on how to become a millionaire using butter. 3 Yasakan death threats. Slightly down on last week, which is pleasing news. And a missive from your mother, which I have answered reassuringly. I have selected the following missives for your particular attention. You will not need to run Fib Finder to see why. Something is up, and I suspect those two slippery urchins, Brabostagon and Scraliontis, are behind it. Missive 1 of 7. From Antar Brabostagon to Leovinus. I don't think I ever saw this when I played the game back in the day. So this is all new to me. It's kind of interesting. Great genius, I'm appalled that you should suffer public embarrassment as a result of any failing of my own. However, I must say in this case that the missive system is entirely Yasakan construction, whose installation on the cheap, I have to say, was the bidding of your own Scraliontis against my advice. By the way, I thought you were absolutely stunning at today's press conference, skillfully rebuffing those ridiculous rumors which have begun to shadow the project, as if we could be launching tomorrow with the ship only half finished. And, from Drut Scraliontis to Leovinus. Wise one, you are doubly wise to mistrust the Yasakans. The ship, of course, is in fine shape, and you shall revel in abundant glory tomorrow at the launch. The Yasakans, in typical mealy-mouthed fashion, are fraudulently claiming that the construction process was further advanced before your inspired decision to transfer to Blerontin in order to fend off our own suits of non-completion. Drut. He is Drut. From Antar Blabostagon. Oh, tremendous brilliance! Do I sense one of your hilarious riddles coming? What do I know about parrot droppings, oh, perspicuous one? Antar. From Drut. O architect of architects, splendid attainer of the previously unimaginable, new research on SMEF just published may be of interest to you. Shall I send you details? I'm sure your response would be gratefully received by our scientific community. I am Droot. And then another one from Droot. Maestro of many metals, how can you even think these things? I have been your servant for 30 years. My loyalty is unswerving. You are surely distracted by tomorrow's launch. Please, please, eat a sleeping loaf and rest. You must be refreshed for the great launch tomorrow. Above all, ignore your leg. Droot. He is Droot. 67, from Bergostagon. O glorious day, O engineer extraordinary. May I wish you formally my heartfelt congratulations on a titanic achievement. May the great sheep, forever be a beacon to your genius as she glides through the ethers. Your devoted servant, Antar Galut Bergostagon. These are very... I don't know if Douglas Adams came up with this level of detail for the story, but these are very Douglas Adams-style names. Lots of double vowels and stuff. And the last of Leo Vinus's emails, or missives. Splendid Leovinus, yet again another of your magnificent creations is ready for launch. How proud I am to have served you in some pitifully small way, assigned in this portentous project. How deserved is your long life, your wealth, your reputation, your success, your humble servant, Droot Scrollionitis. He is Droot. So let's try logging on, and we'll find out now that these other two are up to no good. Scrollionitis. Password this. Excuse me. Hello, Droot. I've evaluated your recent missives. Contents breakdown as follows. Good news 49%, bad news 48%, indifferent news 4%. That doesn't even add up, of course. Petty mailings and family missives 5%. Special offers from the Bellerontan Sand Society 1%. Note there's a rather pretty dune for hire on P4. In general terms, you thrive. You continue to prosper. Your shares are secure. Your hair as always looks good. Carpet 14 needs cleaning. I am pleased to report that there have been no further comments about foot odor. Recommend urgently that you sell all fish paste shares at Market Jittery. It's Market Jittery. As your great scheme nears completion, I have taken the liberty of replying to all non-urgent missives and list below only communications with his manager, Bravostagon, and his pain-in-the-ass loftiness, Leovinus. Beware, Leovinus grows suspicious. Don't take your eye off Bravostagon. Yeah, this guy's up to no good, obviously. Weather for the launch tomorrow is bright and sunny. Easy clouds will be turned out on at 11. I suggest the red suit with the streamers. I need to sip some of my tea. I poured tea because this is a British game. And if it's not British, it's rather pretending to be. I honestly don't remember if this game is actually British. It's obviously got some British folks involved. If it's not actually a British game. Not like the British are not... the British are perfectly capable of creating a game like this. I just don't know if this really is a British game or not. All money transfers will be completed through alias accountants by Moons Up. Eat well. Your fish levels are down, and you may suffer indecision, flutter. It's mid-morning. Here are your missives. Missive 1 of 15. Oh, it's going to take a while. To Antar Bravostagon, Droot Scrollionitis. What's going on, Bravostagon? My missives are all over the place. All routings through Titania are accumulating inexcusable delays. I'm copying this to Scrollionitis. Yes, Droot, I want a costing of this as I fully intend to make a claim, Leovinus. From Bravostagon. What does it matter who's to blame? No one's going to be reading their missives where this ship's going. And anyway, I only said that to give him the impression that we were still loggerheads, and we are, aren't we? Antar. From Antar. He's on to us. What have you told him, Antar? He's going on about parrots. Has he been on board, Antar? As far as I can tell, he is still falling for the virtual reports. Perhaps he has a spy, Antar. Are you sure it's going to work, Antar? And then from Leovinus. Droot, I think Antar is finally cracked. I asked him a perfectly sensible question about parrot droppings, and he's come back to me with a riddle. One of the sub-engineers, Floor, I believe, talented youngster, wears a rather fetching nasal flower, mentioned the mess to me the other day when I bumped into him by chance in the Great Mall. When I said what mess, I said to him. The mess on board the Titanic, he said. Parrots everywhere. Rooms unfinished, substandard materials. What do you make of it, Leovinus? From Antar. We have no choice. We'll just have to hope we get there before him. Can you meet me in an hour? I'll dismantle Titania as well. That'll hurt the old bastard. He's like a warb on heat these days, if you even mention her. Shouldn't have lived in a virtual world so long, or he would have seen what was going on. Antar. So Antar and Drut are scamming Leonidas. Leonidas would be the guy from the, this is Sparta. Oh yes, shame we won't be able to stay on board. It should be fun. Lofty's paradise populated by lunatics. All the bots will be completely crazy. That'll stop anyone who has it in their heads to stay on board and dismantle the you-know-what. By the way, did you catch the latest Smith research? Antar. So apparently these guys probably set up the bomb because they set up us the bomb because they're some kind of stock scam thing. They're going to get rich off of this thing's failure. Sounds pretty devious. No, it is utter bollockgosh. I get enough nonsense mill as it is. I'm tiring of you, Scralliantus. And I am also getting leg twitches. Do you know what that means? It means that somebody somewhere is trying to pull the snork hair over my eyes. I do hope it isn't you. Is it you, Drut? Or is it that dullard I employed to look after the paperwork? Leovinus. From Antar Barbostagon. I'll have no trouble spending it. Ever since it became clear that Leovinus was going crackers, I've been looking for a way to salvage my reputation. This way I get rich at the same time. I must say you've been a most unexpected accomplish. I always had you placed as Mr. Clean Whistle. And how wrong I was. You're actually very nasty at heart, Scralliantus. I'm glad I never got on the wrong side of you. By the by, you're welcome to help me take Titania apart. We'll break his precious cyber intelligence into little pieces and scatter them to the winds. No, I'm getting carried away. We'll have to hide them on the ship. They'll be picked up by the jetty alarm systems if we remove them. Antar. I guess I would have come up with character voices for these guys if I'd had a handle on it earlier. Maybe when I read Drut's emails as Antar, he'll be German. I don't know. What about the parrot? I've grown rather fond of it over the past month or two. Shall we remove it before we launch? By the by, if you do help me with the brain parts, watch out for the Metamor. There's a security chip in each part. My own design, to be honest, but one which Fancy Pants no doubt claimed as his own, which enacts a 3D security conversion or removal from the central host. Are you crazy? By the time this ship blows, she'll be in another dimension, and she'll have taken the missive system with her. Good luck, Scralliantus. I'll see you on board tonight. So the last one we've got would be Antar? Or is it the last name? Let me go back here then. This video is going to be super long, as it probably, but so it'll be Barbostagon. And I think it's going to be that. Hello, Antar. This is your missive, Omat. Not that you need reminding, but today is a glorious dawning of a new age in luxurious space travel. Generally, my assessment of your position this morning is that you are well, albeit not as rich as you would like to be. I hope your interest in collaboration with Mr. Scralliantus will soon bear fruit. I trust your flatulence has eased during the night, such a distressing condition for a man in your position. Most of your missives are routine construction matters which I have dealt with and deleted. All missives from Mr. Scrallianitis and his loftiness Leovinus are here. Number 1 of 18 from Leovinus. This video is going to be long, guys. What's going on, Barbostagon? My missives are all over the place. We've already read this one. Okay. This one's from Drut. Just for the record, you wanted the cheap missive system. I merely voted that way to reassure the genius who is always tiresomely right. Drut. He is Drut. But of course, he is Drut. I've just had a visit from the Yasakan delegation who tell me the Titanic is in worse shape than when they fitted her out. This is of course nonsense, but I sense the legation on the way. What are they up to, do you think? What do you know about parrot droppings? What do you mean? His loftiness is... Oh, our quart. His loftiness has not been on board the Titanic since the unfortunate slipping accident. I have recorded 29,878 telepresence visits, and he remains online in all staterooms. Just what the hell do you mean by this? That. I'm with you, remember? Unless we go through with this, we're both finished. By the by, you'll be pleased to know I picked up the object which we are not allowed to mention, but which will go off with a very big bang last night. Oh, the Big Bang attack. And how am I supposed to ascertain that? Set it off? It's no wonder the ship's not ready if that's an example of the project manager's thinking. I am Drut. You're right. He's had contact with an engineer, Florn. I've had the youngster arrested on grounds of velocity and impersonation. So who knows what he really knows? Do we go ahead or abandon the whole thing? I am Drut. Yes, I'll bring the extremely loud and dangerous thing. I am Drut. Will the ship still launch with Titania dismantled? I am Drut. Catch it. I paid for it, or rather we did, though your warp food processing plant oversees miscellaneous educational funding account. Through it, rather. I thought it read rather nicely. Think I might tell the miserable one. I rather like the irony of his commenting upon the phenomenon which will destroy his beloved Titanic. By the by, at last count you and I had 103 insurance policies running, most of them off Galaxy accounts. When the ship that cannot possibly go wrong goes wrong, you and I stand to gain to the tune of 140 billion horants. Even split 2 ways, that's a rather satisfying sum. Are you sure you can handle such wealth? I am Droot. Right. That does it. I'm not just going to destroy that ship, I'm going to enjoy doing it. I don't care if he does know what we're up to. In fact, I want him to know. I am Droot. Oh, I'm sure we could do better than that. I'd like to think we could show him what we did, at least have a sense of humor whilst we did it. That cyber intelligence costs more than the whole ship put together. I shall greatly enjoy sticking the bits in the unlikeliest places possible. And woe betide any of his bots that get in my way. You're right, I can be rather nasty when the circumstance demands. I am Droot. Bravostagon, I'm getting leg twitches. You know what that means? It means that, I've already... Oh, somebody's trying... I do hope it isn't you. Is it Anta, or is it that shrivel-eyed shark I employed to look after the numbers? So it's just a variation on the other email we already read. No, the parrot's going to have to bite the bullet, I'm afraid. It's been a good warning system, I'll grant it that. If Liam Von has ever to get off his virtual backside and actually visited the ship, that parrot would have brought us some precious time. We'll keep the parrot on board till it launches, just in case he gets it into a sentimental head to make an inspection. I am Droot. I have nothing else to say. I shall see you tonight. By the by, do I need to destroy this missive record? I am Droot. And there you have it, folks. I'm glad we did that, because I've never done that before. But we got some background on what's going on with this ship and why it's all ready to blow up. And just generally not functioning properly. When we come back next time, though, we'll get back to actually trying to solve the problem, rather than just learning about why it exists. I'm Mysterious AG. Thank you guys very much for watching. Catch you next time as we try to advance the story. Bye-bye.